So we've got the raconteurs on the Garrard dd75. That thing seems to be playing all right. I'm going to keep running it through its paces for the next couple of days because I want to make sure that pitch control doesn't go squirrely on me. When I first got it, like, you had to adjust to the extremes, either faster or slower for 33 and 45 to even get remotely close to speed. So cleaning out the potentiometers or whatever, the pitch controls with contact cleaner and deoxit seems to be doing the trick. I still need to fine tune it to where you don't have to touch the pitch control at all. I've got it pretty dialed in on the 33, but the 45, it still runs a little bit fast. So we'll keep messing around with that. But while that's going through, while I'm putting that direct drive through its paces, we're going to hop in on this Garrard z2000b. This is mine, but we've got some rumble, and this tone arm doesn't move as freely as I'd like it to. So there's a couple of things that we're going to take a look at. So there's two issues and two different things that we're going to take a look at. So for the rumble, we've got these updated, these new platter bearings that we're going to throw on there. One of these needs to be bored out just a little bit. So we're going to swap these out for the stock ones. I had bought platter bearings for the 0100 thinking it would work on this turntable, but this turntable, the Z2000b, has a much smaller clearance, or it's smaller space for this thrust washer and these platter bearings. So we're going to try these first. And if this doesn't get rid of the rumble, then we'll go look at something else, like whether or not I've got the power. Somebody was saying that when you've got the power cords against the chassis here, it can pick up the hum. So I'm kind of leaning against that because the rumble is mostly on the outside of the discs. So I think it's mechanical. I don't think it's electrical. So we're gonna look at the platter bearings first, and then we're gonna take a look at maybe the motor mounts are a little bit rumbly. And then once we get that, we're gonna do it all at once and then just go from there. But as far as the tone arm movement, we've got two areas we need to look at. So I want to get this thing moving as freely as I possibly can, because I was looking up the upgrades for this cartridge, which is the Shure V15 Type 2, and my other cartridge is the ATVM95E. Well, the cartridge is the ATVM95, and I want to put the microline stylus on that. Regardless, these upgrades need this tone arm to be continually free of movement. So when you balance it off, like it's balanced, so I should be able to just blow on it and it should move. So that stoppage right there, I want it to be able to go all the way over. So there's two areas I want to take a look at. One is this gear right here. This is the gear that controls the counter. Maybe there's something in there that's gunked that up and keeping it there's going to be a little bit of friction on that one because there's a spring right here or a screw, and it's got to push that up. So we'll see if there's anything else restricting that gear's movement. But also under here, which you can't really see, well, maybe you can. It is, see if I can get this screw in there, screwdriver. Can we go in super close up? Yeah, there you go. So that silver plate right there, there is a pin that creates friction. And I can't remember what it's called, but it needs to be able to move freely. And I don't remember if I did that on this turntable when I initially got this guy from the vintage shop here so many years ago. We're going to start taking this little lady apart and hopefully get to we're going to do the tone arm first, just because it's easier to get to, and then we'll do the motor, the platter bearings second. All right, and there's that little pin that goes underneath that little friction plate. And let's see here, zoom out, see. And that guy is frozen solid. So we will be taking this tone arm off, desoldering the leads, taking that out, and getting that dude unstuck. I got two options. I can either grab the heat gun and just blast it, but because I don't necessarily know if that's going to be the best way. Well, the other way is just taking the soldering iron and putting it on the tip and just warming it up that way. And I think we'll do that a little bit more localized because I don't really want to disfigure or get the surrounding plastic all warm and worked out. And plus I'll have this soldering iron going because I need to take this tone arm off in order to get that with any kind of consistency. So we're gonna crank this little bad boy up and be on our way. Well, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but it looks like I'm just gonna have to go ahead and take all this under stuff off. This was very much the first time Mike came across dry graphite on these cam gears. So we'll get in here and we'll clean this out and we'll put new not silicone, but new graphite grease in this track and just have that as a dry lubricant and be done with that. And yep, let's get to taking this thing apart. All right, when in doubt, heat gun. Pew pew. It took a little bit, but we finally got that piece out. The heat gun and a little blunt force trauma to the bottom of this pin shot it straight out. So yeah, so here's let's see. So this pin right here goes right there, and then this guy right here was jammed in there. So we're going to get some rubbing alcohol in there, and then we're going to hit both of these guys with some silicone as we start to put this back together. But right now, we got to clean this messy bitch up.